to Drexel Update here on Inside Ambition. Before we get started, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Today, I'm here talking with the incoming student body president, Jarod Watson. Hi, Jarod, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am a third year BS MBA Entertainment and Arts Management student, and this will now be my fourth year on the student government. So I have had the distinct pleasure of doing this for my entire Drexel career.
That's great. Well, congratulations on becoming the new student body president. Really looking forward to what you do this year. So why don't you talk a little bit about why you decided to run for president?
Yeah, so being on student government for what will be 4 years, it ultimately felt like the natural progression of things. I came on as a first year representative. I've gotten to serve as a director of finance, as the Speaker of the House. I've been the student body vice president. And so not only have I got to really familiarize myself with how the organization operates, I've had the pleasure of getting to know so many students through this process. And I've also gotten to become very close with administration as well. And so I'm the kind of person who I won't run for any position if I don't feel like I'm the best person to do it. And with the experience that I had and with the goals that I had in mind, I wanted to run for president because I felt like I was in the best position to not only represent the students, but to also bridge that gap between the students and the administration.
So you served this year as a student body vice president. So what are some things that you were able to accomplish in that position this last year?
Being the vice president, I've gotten to do a good amount of work with the board, and a lot of that is work that people don't ultimately recognize as the doing of student government. But there have been two main things that our board is really proud of that I feel have really benefited the university community as a whole. The first being I got to co-author the pass-fail grading system proposal, which student government sent to the university. And that basically outlines the pass-fail grading system that has been in use the entirety of remote learning. And that was really important for the student government to work with administration on that, because I know I personally have used it. I think a lot of students have. And it's been such an uncertain time. And for students to retain that control over their grades, I think it was one less thing that someone had to worry about during a time where you had to literally worry about anything. So that was something that we were incredibly proud of accomplishing. The second one was I also got to co-author the election day proposal, which most people received an email about. What that was, student government worked with the university to figure out a way to really make sure our community could participate in the general election on November 3rd. For many Drexel students, it was the first time that we could vote. For many people, it was a very important election. There was a lot on the line, regardless of what your political identity is. It was an important election to participate in, and we wanted to make sure that people had the opportunity to do that, especially since Drexel is the most civically engaged university in the country. There's nothing more civically engaging than voting. And so with that, we were able to get a half day on election day. Most classes were suspended after 12 o'clock. If not, you had the exemption to miss class in order to vote or in order to be a poll worker. And it was really important that, again, we worked with administration on that, because that was something, an instance of it not only benefited the student body, it benefited faculty, it benefited staff. And those two things have really, I think, highlighted my tenure as being vice president.
Those are certainly some amazing accomplishments, some great things that you did. I know they certainly did make an impact here on campus. So I'm really thankful that you were able to do some of those things. I was able to partake in some of it. So looking ahead to next year, as we're heading into this upcoming year, what are some things that you and USGA plan to work towards?
Yeah, so I think to preface, there's an idea that, perfection or like the total betterment of the student experience is this end destination that you hit. And when you hit it, like work is done, everything is fine and dandy. But we all know that that's not true. Like perfection is something that you'll never reach. It's true for something like the student government and the student experience. It goes all the way up to the federal government and how we live our lives as, citizens of this country. We'll never hit perfection. So that work is something that always has to continue. And so, really, the first and foremost, the thing is to continue the work that we have done. It is to make sure that when our board transitions to a new board, there is no gap in service to the student body. Another main thing is as we come back to campus in fall, it is really important that that reopening of campus is student focused and that students are at the forefront of every decision that's being made. We've been on remote learning for, by the time we come back, it will almost be 2 years. And that is absolutely crazy to think about. And with that, there's no way that we come back in fall and everything is fine and dandy and back to normal. One, because normal didn't work. But two, when you're going through that drastic of a change, there's going to be issues. It's not going to be like this perfect situation. So as we come back to campus, it's really important for student government that we hear every student, what their experience is, what their concerns are, so that we can ensure that the student body is safe and supported during what is going to be another really weird time to be a college student. Second thing is I've had the pleasure of working with the International Student Union for it's been almost 3 years now. It started at the end of my sophomore year in their work to secure strong job placement for international students. International students do not have the same employment opportunities as a domestic student would, basically because they can't work off campus because they're international students. And so ISU has done really great work at communicating with administration, one, the issue, and two, how it can be solved. And moving forward, it's again really important for student government to keep that partnership with ISU and administration so that we can support our international students. So ultimately, they can support themselves and the families that they have abroad. The last thing, obviously, that's not the only thing, but the last thing I think I would mention is again, through this year, student government has formed a really strong relationship with the Office of Equity and Diversity. Most people would refer to it as OED. And it is so important for us, one, that it's not only supported from the university side, which it is, but there's always financing issues, there's always staffing issues, and that's not something that can be fixed overnight. It's something that takes time. And so, first and foremost, we want to continue working with the university to make sure that OED is fully supported. On the other side of that, the student side, it's ensuring that students understand, one, that that resource is there, and two, that it's a resource that they can trust and they can have full confidence in. OED at any university is so crucial to the student experience, to making sure that students are supported and that they feel safe at what is really their home. So we want to make sure that not only is OED fully supported from the university side, but that students know that it's a resource that they can use at what would really be the toughest point of what could be their life. So it's a lot. It's wide ranging from making sure we're safe and supported coming back to campus to helping international students to supporting OED. There's no limit to the work that we will do, but those are definitely some of our main focuses as we start this new year.
Certainly seem like we have a full plate ahead of us. Certainly a wide range of things, but I think a lot of things that will really be super beneficial for the student body. So I look forward to seeing all of the work that you continue to do through USGA. So with all of that said, I guess probably what is the thing you're most looking forward to in this new position for this upcoming year?
There's a lot of things that I look forward to. It's definitely an exciting moment. Being in student government and getting to have this opportunity to serve students is something that I feel weird saying it's changed my life, because I feel like that's such a cliche thing, like, to respond to any question, but it really has. Like, it's what has given me a sense of purpose. It's my community. Like, these people are my friends and my fellow representatives. But it's really helped me grow a passion for service. And so being able to continue to serve the student body and to advocate for them if they feel like they can't advocate for themselves is so important to me. And it's also very humbling that, like, the university community has trusted me to do that. So that's very exciting. And I'm, honored to continue that work. The other thing I look forward to is, as I mentioned, I'm a Westphal student. Emily, you are a Westphal student. We are in the same program for everyone watching. Um, it's also really cool to get to represent Westphal in this way as well. Arts and entertainment kids, I feel like we're always looked over based off of the nature of what we have decided to pursue. It's lucrative, it's hard work, and I will die on the hill that arts kids don't get the credit that they deserve. So I'm also very excited to make the point clearly that any student can do this kind of work. There's not a one size fits all approach to leadership. So I'm excited to continue serving, and I'm excited to be a Westphal student in this position. Maybe the first will not be the last. But I'm excited to set the example that anyone can do this and hopefully inspire some people to get involved.
Well, Jarod, thank you so much for being on Update again. Um, I'm very, very excited for you in this new position, and I can't wait to see what you're able to accomplish here on campus this upcoming year.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, and that's it for Drexel Update this week. Again, make sure that you go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.